All right, we are recording. Welcome to Tuesday Night Sparks. We are super excited for you. It is May the 11th. Y'all, it's already halfway through May. That's crazy, isn't it? May the 11th, and we're super excited for y'all to be here. We are going to we're going to see if there's a question. Anybody has the first question before we get on to our topic tonight? Post it in the comments, and Tiffany and I will answer your question, whatever it might be, business related, whatever you want it to be. Somebody's got to have a question. All the peeps saying hey. If you don't want to put it in the comments, you want to ask, unmute yourself so you can ask us your question. Y'all should have these down pat before we even start. No questions? Nothing you're dying to know? Tips to increase traffic. That would be traffic for
basically, just getting people in. Like right now I'm trying to do a lot of lives to get interest and tagging everybody I can think of, but just not getting a lot of traffic to those.
Okay. So this is basically like your online parties. Is that what it is, Stephanie?
No, not necessarily online parties, just in general, just to increase interest in, the business and, traffic to the site, and yeah, just gotcha. Basically overall drawing them in.
Okay. I will give you my first opinion, and then we will let Tiffany go and give her opinion. My biggest thing is that I feel like with the business and getting people to actually come in and engage with you in different things, I feel like the best thing to do to be able to do that is you showing off products. Like if you have a dog and you're using this and letting them see this, even if you're walking around in your pocketbook, you can pull something out. Hey man, let me tell you about this thing that you can get a free half off, with an extra half off with not even hosting a party. Pull that out of your pocketbook. I think being able to show people that you value the product and that you use the product, that brings more belief to you. That brings more, I feel like that brings more accountability to you. If you are excited about it, if you are something that people are attracted to you, almost like, you literally can't go anywhere around me and not find something that has to do with Scentsy. And I think that that's one of the big things is, in order to increase your traffic, you have to increase your viability. You have to increase your enthusiasm for it, and just your electric charge off of that will draw people into you. If you're somebody that's like, y'all, I use this stuff and it did not get out not one single snot out of my dog. And I mean, they say it will, but I just, your believability is what's going to attract people to you. So if you're excited about something, and that goes with anything in life, if you're excited about something, 9 times out of 10, somebody else is going to be excited right along with you for it, because it's the way your vibe comes off is the way that they're going to be, they're going to want a piece of what you have. So that's my biggest thing, is to show that you're using these and different things like that. And that's definitely going to attract people to you. And I'm gonna let Tiffany tell her.
Okay, so she touched on that, and I do all of that. So take all of that into what she just said and write it down and do it. But I and Michelle does this too. but just to like go in a different direction, when it comes to you posting on your like social media, so Facebook, Instagram, stories, VIP group, whatever it is, make sure that it's not all Cincy. And I watched a training from an SSD. It was a few days ago, but I love that she said this. A lot of times when people are trying to get orders, they'll say, help me out. Y'all on this much for my goal. Who wants to make an order? If you do that every single month, it's going to become such a habit to your customers and to your whole social media feed. So make sure you only need that, like, or do that when you need to do that. I only do it like if I'm about to promote and I just need a PR VBs. That is the only time that I do it. But so make sure your news feed or whatever you're doing, your social media is not about helping me, and instead gear it to help your or your like audience. So I post a lot of memes about my children. Like tonight, Travis is gonna laugh at me, but tonight my children poured spoiled milk in their cereal, and I posted that. Like, be honest with them. Don't just do Cincy. My daughter they take melatonin gummies before bed, and she dropped one the other week to the dog, and I was like, SOS. My oldest just dropped her nighttime gummy, aka the melatonin, and the dog ate it. Is he gonna die? And everybody was like dying. Like I had somebody comment and was like, I literally live for your kid post. Tonight on my spoiled milk, someone made the same comment. Your kids post makes my life so much happier. So do about 80% life in like general, and then don't just post flyers and don't just post links. Instead, do what Michelle said and show like, hey, giving my dog a bath, look at the Scentsy stuff, or give the dog a bath and show the Scentsy stuff, or change your wax, or tell about a scent that you love. Do something and just make it very authentic and real and not so like robotic. You like my little arms?
I like your arms. And hold on just a minute. I'm going to spotlight Jennifer. She wants to share something on here. Let me find her about let's see. Hold on, Jennifer. I'm coming. Maybe if you unmute.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's
Hey everyone. So I just want to make a suggestion because I heard her ask or questions about tagging people in posts. So the suggestion that I would make is make sure you get permission from people, because the quickest way to lose people or for them to like unfollow you, unfriend you, is to tag a whole bunch of people without their permission. So as far as like tagging people, make sure you get permission from them, even if it's family or friends. Like, hey, you know, like I would have like a sidebar conversation before you start tagging a whole bunch of people and different things, because that's the quickest way you can turn people off.
Yes, I love that. Absolutely love that. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go off of and we're still welcoming people in, but I'm going to kind of go off on what Tiffany was saying about the question about like what attracts people to you. So tonight we're talking about sponsoring, and this is perfect because we are in this incentive period. So you want to make sure that you're sponsoring. You want to make sure that you're training these people up. We also just started Annual Mentor on May 1st. So, you know, that's where you sponsor 14 people and get them certified or above. And then you're an annual mentor. It starts on May 1st, goes through April 30th of next year. So this is a hot time, and we're in a $20 join special month. So this was something that we definitely wanted to tap into. And the first thing that I will tell you about sponsoring is people are attracted to you. So if you want to grow your team and you want to sponsor and bless lives and do all of the things, people look at you for the way that you are. If you are very salesy or very like, you know, make sure you join my team and do this and do this and do this, then that's not really going to attract them. If you show them how Cincy has blessed your life and how it's blessed your family's life and the difference that it made in you, you better believe they're watching you, because they want to make sure that what they're joining and what they're buying into, even if you're going to gift them a kit or even if they're going to do this $20 special, if you better believe they're watching what you're doing, because they want to know that this is something for real. If I'm going to take the time to invest and say yes in this, they want to know that you're for real. So the only way to do that is be yourself. Okay. You're going to attract people to you by being yourself. Do you talk about Cincy? Do you have those joint conversations? Absolutely 150%, because you have to plant those seeds. If you don't plant those seeds, then they're not going to grow, and they're not even going to have the idea of, you know what, maybe I can do this. If Michelle can do this, if she's 51 years old, has grandkids and everything else, then why can't I do this? That's just something that you want them to look at your life and say, you know what, she is having a blast. She is in a sisterhood like no other. And, she's doing things with her family. And it's all because of this company. And, it's all because of this stuff that smells. And I mean, tell me more about it. Make it intriguing for them. Make it where they want to know what you're doing so bad because of the fun and the emphasis that you put on it every day in your life. Okay. It can't be anything like, I'm not going to do anything with Cincy today. I'm just not going to do this. You have to do little nuggets every day of showing people that Cincy is a part of your life. It's a natural part of your life, because if it's not, then it's going to appear like a job, which we know it is a job, but it's going to appear like a job, and you're not going to attract the right people that you want on your team and in your culture, because you want people that are going to be fun and uplifting and just as happy as you are that you're doing your Cincy business. So be real with yourself. They want to join you. They don't want to join anybody else. And that's what you want to attract them to. Tiffany's next.
Okay, and I want to kind of piggyback off of what she said when it comes to being real. Your customers or your social media audience, they're going to be following you. They are going to be attracted to who you are. They can join anybody, y'all. Like, since he just posted something that they're about to get their 1 millionth consultant. So there's 1 million people they can join. But when it comes to that, let me just piggyback off that, and then I'll go back to my thing. Just because there's 1 million consultants, that does not mean that 1 million consultants work their business. Okay. There can be a million consultants, but they don't work it the way I do. And they don't work it like a full-time business like I do. They don't work it like a full-time business Michelle does. So work your business to the expectation of, I want my customers and I want my social media to know that I'm the Cincy person. And yes, there's a million other people they can buy from, but I want them to buy from me. So always have your mouth open about your business. Okay. But when it comes to being authentic about yourself, that's going to attract them to join you. They don't want to join me. They want to join you because they have that connection with you. Maybe you went to high school together, or you your kids are in daycare together, something. There's something that will attract them to you and not me. So use that to your advantage and be real on your social media, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get random people that are just going to talk to you and be like, hey, like, can I order? I had somebody I babysat for them in Wilmington, and she still lives in Wilmington. There's tons of people in Wilmington. There's an SSD I know in our group in Wilmington. And she messaged me and was like, hey, can you send me your Cincy link? I want to get a mini fan diffuser and a pods. And so I sent it to her, and I was like, thank you so much for thinking about me. And she was like, girl, she was like, out of all the Cincy people, I would not buy from anybody else but you. And it's her first time doing it. She's never bought from me before, but because I kept being honest about my business and I kept sharing what I loved, that attracted her, and it made her know in the back of her mind that she wanted that. And so she asked me to send me my link instead of going to anybody else in town that's like 5 minutes down the road. So use that to your advantage. Sorry, that was a lot. I love sponsoring. So I'm going to be very real with you guys, because I'm going to talk to you guys about conversations. I am doing like redoing a lot of my systems. And the first 4 months, I mean, I guess you guys know from January 1st till April 30th, I dug really hard in my leadership. And then from May 1st to August 31st, I'm doing really hard in PRV. And then September 1st to December 31st, I'm doing really hard in sponsoring. And I'm just kind of trickling everything together, but I'm finding stuff that works for me and I'm kind of doing what I want instead of going into other people's shadows. That's why if you're in my Monday motivation stuff, like on my team page, a lot of it's about like finding your own shadow and not going in somebody else's. So that's kind of what I've really been working on. But my conversations look very different right now than they will look if I am actively asking somebody to join. Um, I have recruited two. I recruited one last month and then I recruited one in March, one in April. But my PRV's been lower than normal, and it's not lower than normal. I'm still getting around the 1,000, 1,500 mark. But I'm doing the same people. So those people that are buying every month, it's the same ones over and over again. And I've already asked them to join and they don't want to right now. So my conversations right now are finding new customers and I'm building those relationships to turn into recruits. Okay. Yes, I'm still gonna recruit this month. I have had a few conversations and I will read those out for you. But just know that if you have asked every single person that is consistently buying from you or that you can think of to buy, and they said no, that is okay. You just need to turn your conversations in another route. Okay. So there's two parts of sponsoring. One is being the building that I like to say. So you're building up to the recruit. The second is you are actively seeking them. When it comes to building, you know who you want to recruit. Like I have a girl that ordered twice last month. Obviously, I really want to recruit her. But I didn't ask her yet because that was her first and second time buying from me. And so it's not there yet. The relationship's not there yet. So I'm still building with her. So you're going to know these people that you want to build with. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you how I tracked them. So I can like know when their name comes up that what part of the stage we're in. But I'll tell you that in a few. But when it comes to actively recruiting, the easiest way to do this is once they have ordered and you say like, girl, like you have ordered so much. Have you ever thought about doing what what I do? Another way to do it is to have them host a party. And then once it hits 200, once it's 300, however much, just be like, girl, you literally just did everything that I do every single month. Do you want to get your kit for $39 using your host rewards or 59 or free, not 59, sorry. Free. So host kits, which Michelle's going to go into, that's kind of how I do it. But you always want to have that conversation like starter. So what's going to be your starter to plant that seed? They may say no, that's fine. If they ask for more info, I keep it very short and simple. Just like when you recruit somebody, and we talked about last month when you're training them, it's easy to word vomit. The same with recruiting. It's easy to word vomit when you're recruiting because you just want to tell them about all of the amazing things. What can you offer? And you're going to go into the shooting star and sensational star and all these rewards and all this free product, but don't do that when you're recruiting. Okay. You want to keep it simple. So what I say is you only have to put in $200 once every 12 months. You don't need any stock. Everything that you're going to get is going to come in your kit. Even with the $20 kit, that is still true. They're getting testers, they're getting catalogs, they're getting samples, which I don't even think comes in the host exclusive kit, to be completely honest. They're getting warmer and they're getting a wax. Scentsy is built on warmer and wax, and they're giving that to them in the
And 3 months of their website.
Yes. And so the next thing that I say is you will get, or you don't have any monthly fees other than a $10 website, but your first 3 months are free. So I always say that. And then the last thing that I say is you're going to make 20 to 30% off of all your sales, including your own. Because, and I always add in including your own, because if you look at other people and other direct sales compensation plans, they don't get paid off their purchases. Like my mom sells for another company, and everything that she buys for herself, she doesn't get paid off of. So make sure you highlight you get paid off your own purchases, because that's a huge tip. A lot of companies don't offer that. The next part of the conversation will go yes or no. If they say no, great. Keep saying, like the way that I respond to somebody that says not right now, I literally say, yay. Thank you so much for responding to me. I can't wait to keep spoiling you as my customer. And then I just keep building that relationship. And then when it comes to $20 join special, I will re-follow up with them. Or when somebody hosts a party and I know that I want to ask them to party, I will ask them to join once it hits. The easiest way after they say no to get them to say yes is to show them that they can. And the way that you're going to show them that they can is by having them do the work, which is through a party. So conversations.
And I'll tell you, before I get into the next section, I will tell you, when you're having conversations, don't always assume that somebody does not want to join your team. That is the number one thing. Don't always assume that they don't want to join your team, because I literally just got somebody to join my team. As soon as I get off of here, I'm closing one of the parties and blessing her with a kit for $0 out of pocket. But I would have never in a million years, it's my niece, and I would have never in a million years asked her to do this, except she's home from college. She actually lives in Greenville. She goes to college at ECU. And she was talking to me this past Sunday at Mother's Day at her house about one of her friends sells Scentsy, and she really likes it, and she gets a lot of business at ECU. And she messaged me today and she was like, Aunt Michelle, I'm home for the summer. If you know anybody, that needs a babysitter or whatever, I'm trying to make some extra money. And I was like, sure, I'll ask around, but girl, why didn't I think about this before? Let me bless you with a kit. And she was like, I've really been thinking about it, but I just didn't know. So if I wouldn't have opened up my mouth and asked her, and I mean, she's my niece, and asked her, do you just want to give this a try? Then, who knows what this can do for her? She's 20 years old. Who knows what this business can do to her in the next few years? But I am so excited to bless her with a kit and to maybe change her life, so don't always assume that person, I'm not even going to ask that person because I know they don't want to do this. Okay. Don't ever, ever assume that somebody does not want to do this, because you don't know where they're at in their mind. And you don't know when they'll say $20, why not? Or bless me with a kit. Yeah. Tell me more, so open your mouth, have those conversations, keep them positive. If they say no, it's like Tiffany said, yay, I'm so glad that you're still going to be my customer, but always keep it in the back of your mind that I can always bless you with a kit, so just, you're planting the seeds, you're doing all the things right. You just need to be positive and be like, well, scratch you, you're not going to be my customer anymore. Don't do that. No, because it might not be the right time. I asked, and she's on here, I asked Jennifer several times and she spoke at the beginning, it wasn't the right time for her. And when it was, she did it. And now she's a rock star. And I can't wait to see her go all the way to the top of this company. So you just don't know when the right time is going to be for that person. So always make sure that you leave that relationship open and stay there, that they will know. So, I mean, that's just something that I really hold dear to my heart. And they will continue to watch you. Trust me, they will continue to watch you because you planted that seed. I did ask her for years. I'm so glad she joined me. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is the different kinds of kits. So I know sometimes going into the workstation can be a bear and it's hard to find things, but if you log into your workstation, up at the top right corner, you'll see a little hourglass or little magnifying glass. If you just type the word kit in there, it's going to show you a PDF of the kits that we have that are current and available in that season. Okay. It's really super important if you're going to share different things about the business and your journey and wanting people to join you, make sure you have a current kit on there, okay? Because they can change, and they do change subsequently. Sometimes if something runs out or whatever, they can change within the season. But you want to make sure that you're not going to Pinterest or some other site and pulling a join kit and showing something that is not current and relative at the current time, because you want them to see, yes, this is what I'm going to be getting in my kit. And yes, that is just, that's something that I really want, because there might be something in it that's not there. But we have 3 different kits. So we have a $99 join kit, and that is like the holy grail of all the join kits. There is so much product in there. It's not even great. I mean, it's crazy how much product and supplies that is in the $99 kit. And there's a picture of it in there, and it also has a list of all the different things in there. We also have the $59 kit, which is one that I think a lot of people have become very familiar with. And sometimes they don't mention that $99 kit, but it's totally up to the person that's joining which one they want to invest in. Yes, if you're blessing a life and you're using your hostess rewards to let that person join for no out-of-pocket fee to them, then that is the kit that they're going to get. But you always want to offer that other kit because they might want the upgraded kit. In the $59 kit, that's kind of a twofold. So it is a host to earn kit that you can get. They can host their own party. You can bless a life with them, but that is the same kind of kit. We also call it the reinstatement kit. So it's basically the same kit that is the host to earn kit, but it's a reinstatement kit. So let's just say you knew a consultant that was a Scentsy consultant before, something didn't work out, they just let their business go. If they are gone for 6 months from the business, they can return for free, and they can choose you to be their sponsor. Let's just say you didn't sponsor them before. They can come back for free. They can choose you. They can log into their workstation. If you don't have their consultant ID, we can get that. But they can log into the workstation and join right back, put your name in there, and that person can become your frontline just by choosing you. So you can get past Scentsy consultants to join you, and that kit is going to be a reinstatement kit for them. So once they join, it might take a few days for it to show up, but it is an option in their first 30 days that they can purchase that reinstatement kit to get their business going again. And that's everything that they're going to need. And then of course we have right now, I guess we have 4 kits right now, because we have the the $20 kit with the mini warmer and the 15 testers and everything that Tiffany was talking about. We also have that kit. But one thing that I kind of want you to keep in the back of your mind is, I know we have a join special this month, and I know you guys are killing it and you are promoting it on both teams. We are so super excited about your growth so far. But always remember, there is a join special every single day in Scentsy, every single day. You can have them host their own party to join. You can have them bless a life, and stuff like that. But you don't want to look at it as, well, I can't recruit because there's not a join special. You make it what you want it to be. So you can do this all by yourself and say, hey, come June 1st, the $20 join special is going to go away. But you know what? You can put it out there and say, you know what? I have a join special just for you. Let me tell you about it. And all you have to do is tell them about one of these kits that you can use that we have every single day of the month and every single day of the year. So there's always a way that you can market yourself to make it to where it is fun for them. You want to make it fun for them. You don't want to make it seem like a chore. And it's not going to take up, like, for, a lot of us work full-time jobs. I work a full-time job. I'm at my work 7:30 to 4:30 every single day. I have choir practice on Wednesday nights. We have Tuesday night Sparks. There's all kinds of things that I'm a mom to Katie that still lives here, and I love her to death. And, I'm a wife and a Mimi, and we all have lives. So you don't want it to think that, well, I can't do that because, I just have so much going on. That's why I said you work Scentsy into your life. And that way you let them see you can go and hit whatever level you want to by working Scentsy into your life. Yeah, Brandon missed his shout out, didn't he? But I have a 32-year-old son, so yes, and I get my little grandbabies from him so far. So, but him and Leslie. But I mean, it's just something that you can incorporate into your life, so it's not a burden to think, well, my God, if I join Cincy, I'm going to have to do this like a full-time job and blah 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 blah. You make out of it what you want it to be, and everybody, Katie, you're crazy. Everybody, everybody knows that if you incorporate it into your life, then it's going to be fun. It's not going to be a burden. So you don't want it to be a burden on somebody when you're trying to talk to them about joining your team. You want it to be as fun and exciting and easy as you can possibly make it for them. So no word vomiting, like Tiffany was saying in the conversations. And if you need help with that, ask some of us. Ask on the team pages, hey, how do you start the conversation? I feel like there's a lot of us on here, and that was me for like forever. Y'all know I'm a slow grower. So that was me when I first started. I was like, I'm just gonna like scare somebody off just by asking them to join my team. And it's like, I feel like I need to put this in there. I feel like I need to put that in there. I feel like I need to put this in there. And I mean, it's like Katie said, they text us every single time and like, this is what I'm messaging my customers. Is this okay? Find us and send us this and send us a screenshot and say, hey, can I do this? Does this sound like it's okay to post, and we don't mind telling you. I mean, it helps us and it helps you. So that's a perfect way to do it. If you feel like you're word vomiting, post it on the team page and say, all right, what would you fix on this before I send it out? And I don't want to scare somebody off. Sometimes less is more, and the intrigueness and the curiosity is what's going to bring them more into you. So those are the 4 join kits. There's 3 technically, but 4 this month. So those are the join kits for this month, and use them to your advantage.
I had to unplug my phone because it's charging, because y'all know at like 5 o'clock every day it goes dead. So
Yes.
yeah. Okay, so the way that I track people, so I've gotten really into Amy, the AMI app. My life has just became so crazy that physically writing people down and tracking it got a lot. But I did, when I hit director in like 2018, the way that I got to director was I started doing follow-ups with my customer or my recruits, like the people that I wanted to join. And it wasn't so much hey, join my team, but it was kind of the process that I was just talking to you about, like the relationship building and then moving into the like active joining. So I really go, Amy kind of prompts it. I'm going in and figuring out how to change all the dates, and thankfully Katie loves me and answers all my questions on that because I really love her out way too much. And I'm like, hey, like this is too quick. How do I turn it back? So she probably hates me, but it's fine.
Caitlin is our resident Amy expert. So if y'all ever have questions, ask Katie.
Yes. And so I really got into it with my follow-ups, and I've loved it with my follow-ups. Like actually caught an order going, something happened with like delivery today because of Amy. So and Amy caught it, like, well, they didn't caught it, but told me to follow up. And then she was like, hey, like this happened, can you help me? So Amy's amazing. It tells you when to follow up with people. And I know a lot of us are super busy. And so sometimes we get like really off track and we forget to like follow up this customer, or it's been 2 weeks, make sure this person's order was delivered, or next day send a thank you note. Like I send them usually when I see it come through, I'll text them and be like, oh my gosh, that was so nice of you. Thank you so much for ordering for my website. I'll keep you updated with tracking. But sometimes if it comes through at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and y'all know Michelle stays up to 3, so it's probably high probability for her that it's going to come through at 3 because she's probably doing all the things. But that way it still notifies you the next day. Oh, praise, she got her some melatonin. So this is what I use, and I'm going to go to I'm gonna go to my mom. So hold on, I should have had this up. I'm sorry, y'all. My stuff is really going everywhere. Okay, so Katie kind of showed all this, but here's my mom. I don't do follow-ups with my mom either because my mom like just texts me what she wants. So don't go by this because this is just I just click. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Okay, so up here where it says customer, you can literally click that right there. And then I just change it to recruit prospecting. So it comes up there. So it tells me. And then you click save. So it'll add her label. And now it'll say customer, and then beside it, it says the recruit prospecting. I do go in. So here is my dashboard. Kitty may have to jump in and help me. It's cool. This is all super new to me too. Okay. So right here where it says the message templates, I go here. And then follow-up message templates. I do the follow-ups. Katie does the cold, but I don't really understand the difference. I just choose one. Just choose what you want. It doesn't really matter. And then when it comes down here, it'll say, wait, where is it at, Katie? Oh, here it is. Connect with your team. Okay. So it'll say catch up with a recruit prospect. And then you can go in and like do your scripts. I don't do the scripts because I don't like doing that. But it adds links and then it has your Cincy links too. It'll pop up. So I will tell you the thing that I love about Amy is it does prompt you to like talk to them. And you can make notes in here too. Like I have some and I just make notes of what stage it is because when I did my follow-ups, I would do it relationship building 1, relationship building 2, and I would kind of talk to them. Like I would make sure that I had them on social media. And I would make sure that that relationship building, some of it wasn't just me texting them, it was me commenting on their post. So I kind of put in the notes that way based off my system that I have in my head. And then I ask them to join. They say no, I do a 1 month follow-up, and then they say no again. I will do a 3 month follow-up, but in between those 3 months, I'm making sure I'm going hard because I want them to join my team. I already asked them. It's already planned. So I want them to continue to see my name. But between those 2 follow dates of me like asking to party or asking to rejoin or something, like if I have a free kid up and somebody that says no, I'll once I've been building that relationship after they said no, I will text them and be like, hey, like I know we've been chatting a lot about you joining. I have a free kit open using my host rewards. Do you want to snag it? So I kind of like do that too. But when it comes to you figuring out how you want to recruit, you need to just make sure and like following up with Amy, put in all the notes, or I will upload some paper. If you're more of a paper pen person, I will upload some files that I used when I was more paper pen and like started it all. And it's like a little sheet and I will upload it up to our team page. I was very like, if you guys ever seen a Katie Farner training for her follow-up system, she physically moves it. And that's literally what I did. You can ask Michelle. I made this little sheet of paper and I like wrote it all out. And then I literally moved it to each container. So do whatever is going to work for you. I can just give you the resources, but use Amy. It's amazing. Just make sure you're putting in notes so you know where you left off. And then when you do comment something on their Facebook page, you know how to get to that comment, or you commented on this. And so then you know to go back and like talk to them about it. I know that I don't know if all this is making sense, but I do really use social media to an advantage. And I go in their stories. And a lot of times when I'm like actively talking to them about it, I will go into their stories and I'll like purposely go and click on it and see what they posted that day. And then I'll comment on the story because it'll straight DM them. And then I can have a personal conversation with them, not about Cincy, but it's just me and them back and forth through social media. So that's kind of what I do too. But you just want to make sure you're tracking what you're using some way, some form. If you're physically moving a sheet of paper in a small, tiny notebook, do it. If you're writing on a piece of paper, do it. I think Nicole on Michelle's team physically writes everything out. I know that one of my girls, Brian, she does the same thing. She physically writes everything out in a binder. Do what works for you and do how you know or what you know, and it's going to be easy for you to turn to. And like see where you left off. Felicia Rhodes does everything in a notebook, a OneDrive, I think, or what.
The notes.
Yeah. Michelle's doing a training on that too. So this is her accountability to get it done. But she is doing a training for somebody. So that's what Michelle or Felicia uses also. And she just makes a notebook per person she talks to or per team member frontline that she coaches. And then it's like a running log of everything that she does. So just use what's going to work for you. I do Amy because Amy's on the go. I always have my phone with me because if something happens with Eli, I want to make sure that my phone's with me, or if Ellie needs to be picked up from school, something happens, a doctor calls me for Tegan. But use what you use the most and do what you're going to see and think about when it comes to tracking.
And the next thing is be consistent and be patient. I think it's huge that not everybody's going to join you immediately. Not everybody is going to say absolutely, because if that was the case, we would all have thousands and thousands and thousands on our team. And that's just not the case, right now, until you grow a team and your team grows a team and your team's grows a team. That's when the beauty comes out of it. But if you are consistently running your business and you're writing these things down or you're tracking them whichever way that you track them, I use Good Notes, which is in my iPad, which I can pull it up on my phone. I do use the Amy app because I like the no nonsense of it making its own text message. Yeah, I'll tweak it to where it sounds like me and not some robot, but it gives me a prompt that I can send out. But you want to use what you're going to use consistently and keep up with it, because you don't want sponsoring to become a burden. You always want it to be a blessing, because you want to see the betterment into somebody else. If you can see somebody, and there's nothing wrong with like cold messaging somebody, if deep down in your heart that you feel like that, this would benefit them, this would bless them or something. I have 2 ladies that I'm actually praying over this with them and talking with them, and I'm not pressuring them at all. And, we're having conversations about it. And, she was like, this is, I don't know about this. And it just laid on my heart to message her. And I said, I said, don't think this is weird. I said, I'm sorry if you do. I said, but I just feel like, just watching you, I feel like this business could be a blessing to you. And, this is what I can offer you. Definitely pray over it and follow your heart and make sure that this is something that you want, but always know that I have this here for you because I feel like it could benefit you and your son. She's a single mom. And I mean, this is just something that I feel like it can be a blessing to people and it can be a burden to people. And it's all the way that you present it to them. Sponsoring is the biggest gift that you have to give to somebody. Being a great sponsor is the even bigger gift that you have to give somebody, because when you invite them into your team and you show compassion for them, you show patience with them, you show love and understanding to them, that's going to train them up to train their teamies up, and they're going to want to, that vibe is going to just trickle down to them too. Because if you see it as a burden, or you don't want to answer Jackie at 3:00 in the morning or something like that, and I'm crazy. I know some people turn their phone off. They do. But if I'm up having to go to my 51-year-old bathroom self, I'm going to look at my phone. Then that's just me. So, I mean, sometimes I've rolled over and I haven't answered. Sometimes I have answered. And I mean, it's just like, it just all depends. But I feel like that you have to have the patience to be a sponsor. And by doing that, and by asking somebody to join your team, you take on that responsibility of leading them with all of your heart. And I feel like that you can't just sponsor somebody and say, oh, you know what? I got an incentive to earn. Let me sponsor these 3 people and get them to certified. And whoo, thank you for my prizes. Thank you for my shoes. Thank you for my points. I am done with you. That's all I needed from you. That's not the mentality that you need to have. You need to have the mentality of you're going to bless somebody's lives and you might make a difference in a life-changing situation for them. So you need to have the patience and you need to have the consistency of what you want to be now versus what you want to be when you hit the top of the company. So it just, I mean, it all starts with somebody saying yes to you the first time. Tammy was my first recruit after a year and a half. It took me a year and a half to get my first recruit. She was my first recruit after a year and a half, and she came to me. So I mean, clearly she was watching me, so I mean, but you never know when people are watching you. But I was consistent in my business. I never gave up on my business. I really did everything that I did. I had conversations, but it just didn't happen, like this. So you're planting those seeds, you're being consistent, and it's going to pay off in the long run. And you got to have patience for that. Some people grow fast, some people grow slow. It just all depends on your walk. I'll be honest with you. It just all depends on how you do all the things. So if you have consistency and you're patient and everything, your business will flourish. Trust us. We have been there. We have done that. We have some that are really fast growers. We have some that are, just like it takes us a while to get there, but no matter what, we are going to get there. But, you need to find your groove and you need to find how you want your culture to be when that first person says yes. And you want to build that culture of your team with the first person that joins. So you want to make something repeatable by the way that you treat them. It's going to trickle down and they're going to treat this and they're going to treat that, exactly the way that you do it. And I think that's really important for you to understand. Are you going to have different personalities? Absolutely, 100%. We have 420 people on our team. Do we have different personalities? Absolutely. But it's the way that you react to the personality that comes out in somebody that's going to determine the leadership, and it's going to determine the culture of your team. So if you have somebody that comes on and they're very negative and all this is going wrong, I didn't get this LTO, or I didn't get this and I didn't get this, you can feed into that or you can pull out the positive in that. How can I help you? Tell me what you're going through now. Is your screen not working? Are you doing this? Clear your caches, clear your cookies, help them to do the best that they can. And if it still doesn't work, then you show sympathy, you show empathy to them. And you just, it's like you're on their level and saying, I'm really sorry that you didn't get this, or I'm really sorry that this happened to you, but tell me how I can fix it. Tell me how I can make it better for you. And the one thing that you want to do is, that's how you want to lead your whole team. Then you start from the one. You start from that first person that says yes. And a lot of you are new and you're just growing your teams and you're building that culture and everything. So in your mind the way you want your business to run, and you want to bless their lives. I'm sure that's something that they'll want to do, that they'll want to bless other lives too, because that's what you've instilled in them. So absolutely, Jackie, you need to stay positive when things are going wrong, because nothing comes from being negative. Absolutely. If you can take that and flip that around, you will not believe the difference that it's going to make and an impact on that person. That could be the difference in that person say, I never, ever, ever want to do Scentsy anymore. I'm done. I'm done with Scentsy. By the way you treat them, by the way you react to them, never, ever, ever show the negative about that, because if you do that, then that's just going to it's a bad trickle effect. And when you let the first negative come in and you tolerate it, then it to me, it just, I don't know. I don't like negativity. I don't like to argue. I don't like to do any of that stuff. That's just not in my nature. I'm not going to do it. You won't ever see me do it. So, I mean, that's just my point. You have to put out there what you want to receive back. And Tiffany's going to wrap us up with the last part of it.
Okay, so the last part is the importance of knowing your business. I don't really think, so I'm going to kind of go from the perspective of, you can start recruiting at day one. Even if you think you know nothing about your business, don't fake it till you make it, but be honest about that. Tell them like, hey, I just joined. I honestly am really new to this, but I would love to do this with you and have somebody to hold me accountable and to have somebody to just kind of like get to know everything with, somebody to do this with and have fun with. So make it kind of like that. Be honest with them. If you don't know the business, if you don't know about Shooting Star and everything, that's fine. Be honest about it, and they're going to respect you for that. And you never know who's going to want to start with you at day one and go all the way to the end with you. My first recruit that I got is really funny because I have a similar story. She reached out to me, and she's still with us to this day. So just be very honest about where you are in your journey. And when it comes to knowing your business, it kind of comes back to what I was saying. You have to always be talking about Cincy. And I don't want to say always talking about Cincy because I don't really like my Facebook posts. I'm not always mentioning Cincy, but Cincy is a part of who I am. I am somehow sharing it in my story. I am somehow posting what I am warming that day. Or I am posting today. I did Tip Tuesday, and it was someone on our team page posted about baseball pants. They used the all-purpose cleaner on the baseball pants, and it completely got them clean. So that's what I did for my Tip Tuesday today, and I shared that with them. So always somehow in your day, talk about it. One day I talked about like posting this tonight. Take a picture, post this on your story. And that is you knowing and opening your mouth about your business. I tell my team this all the time. When you stop talking about Cincy, that is when you close your business. When you open your mouth, that means your business is open. So just be very mindful of that. And I think the more that you ask people on our team page, how do I respond? The more that you ask questions, the more that you participate and you're like, hey guys, like, how do I respond? Ask questions. We want to help you. And that's you learning. I ask so many questions. I'm always in people's DMs. Michelle is too. We're always watching trainings. We're always trying to figure something out that's going to work for us. And so do that too. Get in my DMs, get in Michelle's DMs, get in our leaders' DMs. Nicole, Anna, I don't even know. Why did I call her Blair? It's because her name says Nicole Blair up there. Kimberly, Ryan, Jackie, all these leaders that you guys have, get in their DMs and ask them, how do you lead? How do you get your PRV? How do you sponsor? Nicole Blair, that is not her last name. You are throwing me off tonight.
It should say Nicole Beast is what it should say.
She is a sponsoring beast, y'all. Get in her DMs, ask her. So you don't have to know everything about your business because I don't think I know everything about my business, but just be very honest about where you are and then just learn, ask people, get to know it more. So it's kind of, that wasn't a very good way to end it, but
it was. And I'll say this, I'll end it with this. Your believability is what your total worth is. So if you are believable, if you are somebody that, you know, they can look up to you, they can respect you, they can learn from you, they can be on the same level as you, those are the people that are going to be attracted to you. So the whole point of this tonight was sponsoring, but it's also a point of being yourself. Okay. People are attracted to you. People are attracted to the way that you lead your Cincy life. And when you invite them to your team pages, that just inspires them anymore, as far as what kind of a leader that you are, because you guys show up every single week and we're so super proud of you. I know we had more people on here earlier and it does get kind of late, but I mean, we love that you show up, but whenever you're showing up, you are letting people see that, yeah, this is an important part of my business. This Tuesday Night Sparks is an important part of my business, an important part of my Cincy life. This is how I grow, and this is how I can share with others to grow. So don't ever stop training yourself. Don't ever stop. Y'all know it took me 3 years to figure out what BBMB was. And I tell y'all that freely, and I've told y'all that before, because I was scared to ask. Don't ever be scared to ask. All right. I forever was like, I am not going to ask somebody what BBMB is. And it took me forever to figure it out that it was Bring Back My Bar. But once that light bulb went off, I was like, oh, okay, I got it. But don't ever be like Michelle and not ask, because we want you guys to know and to be so knowledgeable about Scentsy and about this business that people just like, they're like magnets to you. We just want them to be like, whoa, look at her. She is just like on fire for this. She knows all about it. I feel comfortable joining her team. You want somebody to feel comfortable, not threatened by joining your team. So that's one of the big things, that, just be yourself, because we know how you are, and share things like this on social media. We told you before, once you hop off of here, go on the team page and say, y'all, if you missed Tuesday Night Sparks tonight, you missed a good one. And we know it's recorded, and we know some people have to watch, the recordings, and that's okay because they're on our YouTube channels. But there's something about being on a live training that just gives you that extra fuel and that fire to wake up in the morning and start your business a whole new fresh. So we thank you for coming on tonight.
Wow, that was 9:30 on the dot.
No, look at that. We are doing good. So I'm going to stop the recording.